You want deals on wheels? Well, you ain't finding them on these cars. I'm telling you that right now.
In our last video, we showed you the cars that are sitting on dealers' lots rotting away that they're desperate to get rid of. In this video, we're going to show you the 10 vehicles dealers can't get their hands on enough of. And you're going to have a hard time getting a deal on them. At the number 10 spot, we have the 2026 Honda Civic. This is for the month of August 2026, I should mention. A 16 days supply of inventory. There are 17,500 Honda Civics that have sold in the last 45 days. And based on how many are on dealer inventory, that means they would sell out in 16 days, Dad. The Civic is our number 10 fastest selling vehicle, most difficult to get a deal on right now in 2026.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons for it is we've seen an increase in the number of sales of less expensive vehicles. And so this is a perfect example of people moving down market to find something less expensive. And because of that, a 16-day supply for dealers.
Yeah, we've got a $30,000 average transaction price on the Civic, so no wonder it is flying off the shelves. At the number 9 spot, we have our first of many Toyotas that are on these lists. The 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser, also a 16-day supply in the United States of America. The Land Cruiser is one of these vehicles that so many people want to get their hands on, but Toyota dealers barely have any in stock.
Yeah, there's a scarcity situation associated with the Land Cruiser. There's just not very many of them. They're having great difficulty producing them in the numbers that people require at the moment. And so if you're looking for a deal on a Land Cruiser, well, maybe you can find a 1990 somewhere.
Yeah, and good luck on those too. I think they're commanding a pretty penny. It's worth mentioning Toyota shows up on this list a bunch. And in the month of August, Toyota has dealt with multiple natural disasters in Japan that have restricted the production of their vehicles there, both an earthquake and a typhoon. So all sorts of challenges when it comes to Toyota supply right now, and obviously demand on Toyotas, well, it's quite high. Now we have at the number 8 spot, a Mercedes on this list. And talk about a scarcity play, Dad. It's the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, also with a 16 days supply, meaning that Mercedes-Benz dealerships nationwide would sell out of all 229 G-Wagons they have on their lot within the next 16 days. They've sold 642 in the past 45. Doesn't matter that it has a $216,000 price tag.
Yeah, there's never been a shortage of buyers for G-Wagons. There's just always been a shortage of G-Wagons for the buyers.
At the number 7 spot, yet another Toyota on this list, and the disparity here between price points of the G-Wagon and this is absolutely crazy. We have the Corolla Cross with a 15 days supply. So think about that. It would take 15 days for Toyota dealers nationwide to sell out of all 6,137 Toyota Corolla Crosses they have on the lots right now. That's because in the last 45 days, those same dealers have sold 18,693. Price point, $33,500.
Yeah, I think what we're going to find is anything under $40,000 is moving much more quickly than things north of that number. And Toyota seems to, feed that market.
Definitely. And Dad, there are about 12, maybe 1,300 Toyota dealers nationwide. So think about that right now. There are 6,000 of these Corolla Crosses in inventory right now, and they've sold almost 19,000. That's like 1,250 dealers selling, I don't know, a couple dozen of these cars every month. It's crazy how fast they're selling.
No, absolutely. It's a good time to be a Toyota dealer.
At the number 6 spot, we have the Toyota Sienna, yet another Toyota with a 15 days supply. 5,836 Siennas in stock right now at Toyota dealers nationwide. 17,832 of this $55,000 minivan have sold in the last 45 days. Good luck getting yourself a big discount off of MSRP on a Sienna. Dealers know they have a low supply and high demand.
Oh, absolutely. And, the market is moving away from mid-sized and larger SUVs and moving back towards minivans, because minivans are significantly lower priced than those larger SUVs and more versatile. And the Sienna is a perfect example of that.
And it's worth mentioning at this point in the video, Dad, many of these Toyota vehicles, you're not even going to be able to find them on dealers' lots. They're already spoken for and pre-sold. You have to get in on allocations. And so that's another reason why it's just hard to negotiate discounts when the dealer doesn't even have the vehicle on their lot.
Yes.
It's hard to be able to negotiate on it. Now, at the number 5 spot, we have the Toyota Camry with also a 15-day supply. And it's worth mentioning the Toyota Camry, at least in the data set we have at CarEdge.com, the best selling in terms of volume vehicle in the United States. 61,000 of them have sold in the last 45 days. Now, interestingly, here on the Camry, depending on the trim level, you can actually get some pretty big discounts. On the most expensive trim levels from Toyota with the Camry, we've seen discounts of $4,000-$5,000 because, shocker, almost $50,000 Toyota Camrys don't sell that well. It's the more inexpensive Toyota Camrys that are flying off the shelves right now, and dealers are not wheeling and dealing on them as much.
No, and there's no need for the dealers to offer huge discounts on something that they can't keep in stock. It's the number one rule of economics. Supply and demand determines what prices are going to be, and the supply is low and the demand is very high.
Now, Toyota deliberately keeps their inventories pretty lean and they have a ton of demand. Juxtapose this with the slowest selling, most negotiable vehicle in the United States right now. We talked about it in our last video. The Nissan Rogue plug-in hybrid has a 443 days supply, not 10 times more than the Camry, not 20 times more than the Camry. We're like 23 times or 25 times more days supply, how long it would take to sell out of inventory. So it's just like an incredible disparity between the slowest selling vehicles and what Toyota's done here. They have obviously some of the fastest selling and lowest supplied. Now, we do have a break from the Toyota train, which would be the Subaru Uncharted coming in at our number 4 spot. Also has a 15-day supply. The story here is a little bit different, though. This is kind of like launch scarcity, Dad. There's just not a lot of Subaru Uncharteds in the market right now because it's a brand new vehicle from Subaru.
Yes, but it shows that Subaru has finally hit on something in the electric vehicle vein that apparently people are interested in. Typically the previous Subaru EV sat and sat and sat. This new Uncharted, people have seen it and they're looking to buy it. And I believe at the moment Subaru is artificially keeping the supply on the lower side.
Which makes sense because I don't think there's that much demand. We're talking about the Subaru Uncharted right now. 167 of them are for sale nationwide, but they've sold almost 500 in the last 45 days. That's why the day's supply is so low. It's not like they've got 16,000 of them out there like the Camry or something like that. So like you said, relatively low supply. Now, the top 3, Dad, I'm going to run through them really quickly here because they're all pretty similar. Number 3 spot in terms of vehicles that are most impossible to get a deal on in August 2026, the Toyota Grand Highlander. Then at the number 2 spot, a Toyota Prius. And at the number 1 spot, the Toyota RAV4. It's Toyota, Toyota, Toyota in terms of vehicles that just have very low days supply of inventory. We're talking 14 or 13 days respectively, meaning these dealers would sell out of their available inventory in 2 weeks if Toyota, the manufacturer, stopped shipping them new ones. And again, in August, Toyota has been faced with, unfortunately, natural disasters, which have shut down more than 75% of their production facilities in Japan. So actually, these dealers may run out of inventory, Dad, because Toyota is not producing as many vehicles as they historically have. These are your most difficult vehicles to go get deals on right now.
Yeah, as I said in the beginning, if you're looking for deals on wheels, these aren't the vehicles you're looking to get the deals on. These are the wheels that people are willing to pay for and pay up for. The only thing you can hope to do on vehicles like this is negotiate off any additional dealer markup or any additional dealer installed accessories that you might not have wanted. But I think a deal at MSRP today on those type of vehicles is in fact a deal. I hate to say it, but when vehicles are in such short supply, if you can buy it at the manufacturer's suggested retail price, that might actually be a bargain.
Yeah, redefining what a deal is critically important. I would also say there's nuance to all of the vehicles we mentioned today based on trim level. So please, please, please do your research back at CarEdge.com. We give you the day's supply of inventory in your area all the way down to the trim level. So that's really important because, again, we've even seen with our car buying services, some of those Camry deals are $4,000 or $5,000 off of MSRP. It's not on the $30,000 variants, however. And then, Dad, I think the really important thing is know what you're getting into with a dealership before you head into a dealership. Use the dealer transparency index back at CarEdge.com. Find dealers that are graded A for their transparency. A lot of these very scarce vehicles, that's where you see dealers pulling the games like you were describing a moment ago. And they get an F, obviously, in the transparency index. If they're adding add-ons, marking things up, mandatory nitrogen tires for $500, you can know that before you contact a dealership. Use the dealer transparency index back at CarEdge.com and then click on dealer reviews.
Yeah, there's never been a better time to be empowered and informed than right now.